Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Talk about the Survivor 42 premiere. So exciting.
It's time. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And we're on Patreon. If you want to support us over there at patreon.com/nerdtainment. Thank
Hang
you
out
in
with us
advance.
there.
If you do.
Y'all, 'tis the season.
Hi, everybody. It's back. This is my favorite. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever said that on the channel, but this is my favorite of the trio.
It's official.
Yeah.
Survivor is David's favorite. It used to
is.
be Big Brother.
Used to be Big Brother because that was the original. That's how you got me
Our
into this
original
world.
love. Yeah.
And I still do love The Amazing Race, but Survivor, there's just something about
Survivor really has crept up. I have to agree.
Yeah.
It's in my top 3.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bold statements here tonight.
Right?
Survivor is
That's
in your top
right.
3.
It is up there. Hello, everybody. Yes. Let's get into it. It is a 2-hour premiere, and might I say, really good.
Honestly, really good. This, like, as far as premieres go, this is the best one in a while for me.
Yes.
Because it felt like, I think part of it was that we didn't get 2 tribals, right? So we didn't we filled the time with some other things other than like a first tribal council, right? So it felt like we got a lot of good packages and really got to know a lot of these Survivor contestants in this premiere episode, which is super fun.
Yeah, I feel like they took a little lesson from Australia and gave us some in-depth character stuff. We got good segments on just about everyone. Maybe it was everyone. I didn't count.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic.
Really good. Really, really good.
Yes, you're gonna love it. Get hyped.
Yeah. Iria, Jeth, you're gonna love it.
Good pronunciation, I think. I'm gonna just call it right there.
Stab in the dark there.
Now, we've been trying to remind all you guys, and Jeff's gonna do it too.
Oh, yeah.
41, 42, shot right back to back.
Listen, and isn't that great that we filmed 2 seasons back to back?
The good thing is they haven't seen 41.
So all those twists that y'all didn't like, they don't have any idea about them.
We didn't know at the time.
So they might treat them totally differently. Or they might treat them exactly the same. And we might not like how they handle these twists.
And you guys might still hate us. But we did it back to back.
Yeah.
So and he does allude to the weird
I was gonna say,
phrases.
You know those silly phrases? It's gonna happen again.
But honestly, I'm here for it.
Sarah loved that.
Those phrases.
Yep. So look out for somebody to talk about potatoes having skin. And I have skin.
I believe that was Tori. We have a heads up that Tori is going to find the idol.
Yes.
Yes. And then we get some fun little, more than sound bites. It's almost packages.
Yeah, truly.
From a few people.
As we're like in the boats on the way to, the beach to talk to Jeff. I think they start with Jonathan, and he reminds us that he has the world record for pull-ups with 100 pounds on his back, which is one of the more random world records I've ever heard of.
So,
yeah.
Yes. And then Lydia Fast became my fave because not only did she say a David statement of like, I'm burning right now. Like my skin is burning.
I'm burnt just thinking about it.
Yes. Which is so David. And then she said such a Sarah phrase of like, sand is disgusting and it's gross and it like gets on your skin.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. Lydia, yes, same.
It honestly kind of reminded me of Erica from last season, who we know went on to win. But Erica went in being like, I have no outdoor skills. I'm just kind of likable as a person. That's really all I'm bringing to the game. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe Lydia's going to be another one of those,
Okay, well, Marianne is also likable because girl shows up on the beach with a smile I have never seen before.
Beaming.
The biggest.
Jeff is like, I cannot stop looking at you. Woman in the front with the smile.
With the huge smile.
With the huge ear-to-ear grin. What is your deal? And she's like, I am just happy to be here.
She's like, look where I am. I'm here. You're here. We're all here. It's a dream. People told me it was a dream, and now we're here. And you're like, yes, I love you.
Yeah.
How can I not?
He talks to Mike as well, right?
Yeah. Mike, Zach.
Zach gives the best, like, awkward response. Like, he's like, are you ready to play Survivor or something like that? And Zach's like, we're about to find out, Jeff. And everyone's like, what?
Jeff's like, and what do you mean by that? Because this is a TV show. So like, I have to have like a conversation with you. And Zach was like, I didn't know what to say.
I did my best.
So I just like threw a line out.
Yeah.
It's like one-liners. Is that what we do?
Is that it? And Jeff's like, no, actually, like, that kind of thing is not what works for this. So.
Yeah. They're basically all fangirling at this point. I mean, this is kind of what we love about Survivor casting is they get so many fans of the show.
Yes.
But then they're going to stand on the sand and like geek out. And be like,
right. But we're already divided into tribes.
Yes.
They are on their boats, and those boats represent their tribes. So we know it's Taku, Vati, and Ika.
It's not Ika. I really thought it was named after Ika from BB Can, but it's not. It's Ika.
No such luck. It's Ika. So Taku is Mariah, Marianne, Lindsay Jackson, Jonathan, Omar. Vati is Daniel, Hi, Jenny, Lydia, Mike, Chanel. Ika is Zach, Drea, Tori, Romeo, Roxroy, Swathi. So if y'all could just repeat that back now.
I have it in multiple places on my notes.
I know.
Because you got to keep track of that.
Yeah, this is the hardest.
Maria!
Hello!
Thank you for the super chat.
Yes.
Yeah, Marianne's, like, she went
in.
And then she
broke down so fast in that moment.
She has extremes. Yep.
Extremely emotional.
Yes. So Jeff is going to let them know that they're going to starve. No rice.
Yeah.
Maybe no Flint.
Right. Again, remember these people have not seen season 41, so he has to remind all of these people that this is the most grueling, most challenging season of Survivor ever. Right?
Yes. All right, this first challenge is broken up a little bit here. So one person is going to run up, get some paddles.
Yeah.
Come back. Another person's going to run over, get some paddles.
Okay.
And then they're going to go and do some things, and they're going to come back, and then somebody's going to, a tribe is going to win some supplies.
That's right. Yes, exactly. So it's Jonathan versus Tori versus Daniel to start, right? To run through the forest.
Jonathan, Daniel, Tori. Yes.
And get the paddles. And Jonathan, of course, is like a beast.
Oh, yes.
Just dashing through the forest.
He is not disappointing on the physical skills.
No, he really is very much an Aussie.
But you know what? Tori held her own. She was the first to like get down off of that net with the paddles, but she did trip a little bit.
She did.
But I was very impressed with Tori at this point.
Me too. And then speaking of tripping, Daniel trips when he finally gets back to the beach. And fully dislocates his shoulder.
Who was it? I love this because he's like, I think I might have dislocated shoulder.
And it's hanging.
And the person's like, you got this. You're good.
You could see it through the shirt. Like the arm is just hanging there limp. It's like lower than it should be. And I don't know what producer thinks we want to watch this, but I'm like, stop showing me the dislocated shoulder. What is wrong with you? I don't want to see that.
I'm like, show it.
Sarah,
no, don't show it. Don't show it. But
you are the problem.
Yes.
I was getting so mad. I'm like, stop showing this arm. Like, I get it. It's dislocated. Get the medic in. Like, I know that you have to wait till the end of the challenge, but you don't have to show me a million times that his arm is literally hanging off of his body.
I know. I'm like, I don't want to see it. Show it.
Yeah.
I know. What is this?
I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed.
Okay, but props to whoever was like, you got it. It's all good. Okay, but then as this first group comes back, Lindsay and Drea are the first two to go. They get to this next spot and they are like, whoop, the thing says stop.
Stop. You have to wait till everyone's there. So Hi shows up third and they have to make this decision together, right? It says, are y'all going to secretly work together and get an advantage?
Or are you just going to take your paddles back and like get your tribe to win the supplies, whatever? I don't remember the last time two people were like, yes, advantage.
Yeah.
So fast. Whereas it was Lindsay, right? Who's like, oh, you guys, like this is an opportunity. Too soon. Yeah. Like, let me like focus on my tribe here. And they were like, no.
Pinky swear. They're like doing, all of that. And decide like, this is great. I mean, Hi gives a confessional where he's like, this is such an opportunity to like form bonds with people on other tribes. Like, how could you pass this up? So they do it.
So she's like, okay, I don't have a choice, Lindsay says. But here's what's hilarious, because they're like, what does it say about the lie? Oh, here's fake blood and mud.
Oh my God.
To make it look like this took so long because it was quite a thing. Yeah. Meanwhile, we are getting cutbacks of like,
where are they?
Do we need to check on them?
This one's taking a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
They take so much time covering themselves in mud and a little too much blood.
Rolling around in the sand too.
Just to like, finally Lindsay was like, I'm over this. I'm grabbing the paddles and I'm going back with a moderate amount of mud.
It really was too much blood because they get back and people are like, you are really bleeding. Like, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah. It's too much.
It was too much, but I was like, wait a minute. In all of this time spreading on the mud, not one person was like, what are we going to say we did here?
We got to align on the story.
If you come back to me
bloody,
covered like this, I'm going to be like, where were
happened?
The paddles? Like, what did you have to do
to
get the paddles? Like, you need a story. And I was shocked that they didn't try to come up with anything. And honestly, that it didn't come back and bite anyone in the butt in this episode.
Because here's the deal. You got all this blood all over you, right? I'm going to need to see a cut somewhere. And none of these people are going to end up with scabs anywhere. So what's the explanation?
Like, you were bleeding out of your eyeballs?
Yeah.
Like, what's... It made very little sense. And I almost think the producers were like, this is going to throw the tribe, right? You come back covered in blood and you don't have a story. Like, this might trip you up.
Yeah.
Which I think is what they were doing. But I hope it comes back and haunts
me
them
too.
because this was too
we need an
hilarious. All right, they're going to get their advantage and go.
Right, because that leveled the playing field, right? Because they all come back at the same time with their paddles. So they've got their advantages and their paddles, and they come back, and everyone's like, that's a lot of blood, but let's go. And then Taku is killing it at the rowing right away because, of course, Jonathan is on that tribe. And he is Aussie, right? He's like untying the chests, throwing them onto the boat, like perfect dives into the ocean. Like, this guy is the physical threat this season.
Why am I blanking on you guys? Who's the other? Not Aussie.
Joe,
thank you. Oh my God. I kept wanting to say Jay. And I was like, it's not Jay.
Yeah.
So Joe. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. To the point where when they, of course, get to the beach first, they've like missed where they're supposed to be, essentially. This man gets out of the boat and drags it with one hand.
I'll just
everybody in the boat.
Stay.
Bodies, chests in the boat. And he's like, I'll just
drag
pull
it
us
over.
right over here. Don't worry about it.
I'll just drag it over.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Crazy.
Okay. So Jonathan's first for Taku. Lydia gets it for Vati. We're talking about the chests or whatever at this point. Is that what we're talking about? I don't even know. But then Maria is going to get
Mariah.
You
were right.
I was right.
When we were joking in that cast reaction.
I was right. Now I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Mariah, thank you, is going to get to building that little pole thing you have to do to get the key off of the thingy majiggy.
Yeah. And the other teams are like struggling with the chests. They're like, the blue team is throwing them into the water and having to push them out of the water. And, it's just a lot more work for people who don't have Jonathan on their team to just lift up a chest as though it's made of feathers and like place it gently into the boat, But eventually these other two teams do get there, and it's Hai and Roxroy who are on the bamboo poles for these other two teams. And it ends up being Roxroy.
Sure was.
Because Mariah's pole just keeps like breaking pieces off, She didn't quite secure it tightly enough. So Roxroy gets the key off, but it falls in the sand. So then it's this whole thing of like, you got to drag it, but there's no like tension in this rod to really, get traction and drag this key. So he's struggling with that. But ultimately he's going to do just fine, and he's going to get it. Hai and Mariah are not able to do it. So Ika is going to win their supplies first. Off they go. And then also the other tribe is going to go, but we're going to keep Daniel's tribe here because medical needs to see Daniel's arm. Well, this is what gets me. They're like, what happened, Jeff. You've been watching his arm hanging out of the socket. This poor man has been rowing a boat with a dislocated shoulder.
It's been at least 20 minutes.
At least. And he stops and he goes, Before we go, Daniel. Is something wrong? You've been acting weird. Are you okay? And Daniel's like, actually, no, my arm. And I know that you know that. And Jeff's like, oh, well, I guess we should do something about that. But describe how it's feel like he's really prolonging it before he calls the medic in to pop the shoulder.
He's like, we have to make a whole TV show out of this. So he's like going through the movements. Meanwhile, it's like, clearly medical needs to come in. And then Jeff's like, no, I call for them. He's like, medic, we need medical. And we're like, yes, duh. They're standing there waiting for you to say it. No. They've been watching his arm.
Yes, the doctor's like desperate to rush on camera and help this poor man.
Oh my God, it was amazing. Logan, thank you for this super chat.
Yes, thank you.
This immunity challenge looks so incredibly difficult. Reminding me of something that would be on the challenge. I don't watch a challenge, but the immunity challenge, which is later, looks brutal. Ridiculous. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
So medical pops it back in the socket, right? And she's like, and he's like, oh my God, like, wow, I feel like a person again. I was like, no, I was like this the whole time. I'm like, stop. Like,
Jeff's like, I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it go in.
Yeah.
And the medic is like, so you're going to be fine. This is not enough to pull you from the game. However, you are at risk of it popping out again if you don't watch it. And I'm like, if that is foreshadowing, count me out.
Do everything like this, Daniel.
Yeah, hold that arm.
You may not use this arm ever again on this show.
Truly.
Never. I do love that Daniel pulled the name. He name dropped Stephanie LaGrossa.
Oh, yeah, he was ready.
From Heroes vs. Villain. They're literally the only two people who have dislocated their shoulders on the first challenge.
Crazy.
Hey.
Good for him.
What a club.
Know that fact.
What a club to be in, you know?
Yeah. So then we go to Ika first, which is the tribe that has their supplies, right? And this is just like intros, get to know you. There's no like challenge that they have to do now. They have the supplies that they need. So we're getting all of these like, hi, how are you kind of things. And we start with these backstory packages that we, saw a little bit of at the beginning of the episode.
Character development. It makes me love this cast so much. Really great stories.
Yeah, so we start with Swathi, right?
Start with Swathi here. Then Tori tells us that she is going to let people know what they should think about her because she's the therapist.
Yes.
So she's going to tell people she's a caregiver.
Yeah.
And then we kind of see how the youngins are coming together.
Yeah, we sort of see like Swathi and Zach, which I called preseason. I was like, those two, they're going to be smart together. I think it's, it's chance that they ended up on the same initial tribe, but we see them bonding kind of over their nerdiness a little bit, as Tori puts it. And Tori's like, I'm going to bring out my nerdy side and I'm going to be with these people because I don't want to be with the strong ones. I want to be with the outsiders.
She's like, I've heard of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And that's nerdy. Do you guys like Harry Potter?
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Let's talk about it. So they get some young nerdy stuff. And then we see, I guess, the more mature people who are not really that old, but Drea, Romeo, and Roxroy are sort of like, okay, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, we're feeling this. We're the ones who actually get things done. We're the adults in the room kind of thing. So it's like kind of split down the middle on Ika before we go over to Vati. And they are now choosing Savvy or Sweat, which is the exact same challenge.
Okay, but Survivor producers, they made some changes, and I am here for it.
Well, the change I noticed was that it was only one person carrying the water.
Carrying the bucket. It's not a bucket, but the pot.
I guess they looked at 41 and they said that was too easy with two people.
It was too easy with two people, and no tribe chose the puzzle thing.
That's
the triangle puzzle thing.
Yeah.
So the other change that they made is they gave the puzzle 2 guesses. There was only one before, I believe. I'm pretty sure that this time they were like, you're going to get 2 guesses, and then only one person can carry that pot. I like these changes because here we are, and we're going to see both tribes choose the triangle puzzle.
That's right. So it's fun to see that one actually like get activated this time, because I remember we were like looking at the triangle and like trying to add up last season and where are we getting, and I don't remember exactly where we netted out on that one, but Jenny steps in on Vati because they're all over the place.
They're
and
like
Jenny's
14, and Jenny's like,
okay, it is
no
4 times that many minimum.
No.
So I'm going to jump in here and show y'all what a triangle looks like and how many different ones there are in here.
She's like, do you see this shape is also a triangle? And they're like, whoa.
Yeah. She's like, here's the math, folks. Okay. Nobody else is going to see this. But then over on Taku, they choose savvy. And Jonathan's like, I got it. It's 11. And Omar's like, I'm at 36 currently. So
Jonathan's like, what? There's more than 11? 30 something? Oh, Jonathan's like, you know what? This is not my thing.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to set this one out. Let me go into the jungle and see what I can do in there.
I'm probably helpful around camp.
Y'all get the triangles.
Yes. So they do a little divide and conquer, and they have Marianne, Tori, and Omar stay back to do the puzzle.
Yeah.
And this seems to work out for both tribes because Vadi's wavering. They think it's 50, so they're going to add 1 to be safe. So they'd say 50, 51. Taku actually is like, it's 51. Maybe we'll add 1 to be safe, 52. So 50, 51, 51, 52. Our answers, guess what?
51.
51.
So they both got it. I wish I would have looked back because I think we were chatting about it on Instagram Messenger. DM.
Oh.
Because I think you posted the triangle thing to your story. And then I was like, here's how many I got. So I'm going to have to look back.
Yeah, so a person last season did a computer program to figure out the exact number.
Oh.
And I was really disappointed that no one did the triangle puzzle last season. So I was excited to see. And the thing came up with 51, and I came up with like 40. Like I was a bit off. So I was like, what? So yeah, I do remember posting that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, I got 35. We were all sort of all over the map.
All over the map. Yeah. I'm not seeing my guess. Maybe it was your regular account and not the Nerdtainment account where you posted it. Oh, I said, I've got at least 44.
Oh,
was what I said.
Yeah.
But it was 51.
Yeah. And I had 40 something.
Yeah.
But excited that they got it.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's what I felt like. If you have more than one person and you can talk through it, you can figure that out. And it was a lot less work than carrying those.
Oh my goodness. And probably a lot less time too. Yeah. So they both get it. Very exciting. Everybody's kind of got supplies now. Now we go to a Mike package, more of this like character development stuff. Mike is this older guy, right? And he's like chopping the bamboo and building a fire and proving to everybody that age is just a number. And I'm, still able to help around camp. And how great is that?
Yeah. This you're talking about Mike?
Yeah.
Segment? Yeah. I was reading the chat. Sorry. Yeah, this was cute. I think he's got some great dad vibes.
Me too.
And firefighter, and I loved all of that. Love those old pictures with his mustache. It was great.
Fun.
So then bouncing back to Ika, Roxroy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
It is fully kids versus adults at this point.
Oh boy.
Where the kids are like doing the survivor thing, and he's like, can they shut up and build shelter? And like, y'all need to move the palm fronds from here to there. And
okay. Roxroy does not like singing.
Yeah.
It's no singing allowed on Survivor. Like, he is so mad and saying it's lack of focus. He's directing everyone. It's a bit much. Even I think at some point Dre's
like, just tone it down a little bit. Like, you're being kind of a lot.
We're being honest with
and he's like, fine. Okay.
He's probably heard that before.
Yeah. He gets a package too. Single dad, at home with his kids, kind of used to that kind of a dynamic, it seems, right? Where he's like kind of treating Swathi and Zach and a little bit Tori as his kids. And like, he's going to have to break out of that, I think, a little bit to be able to stay here. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that.
No. Drea's going to walk off to check out that advantage that's still in her bra.
This whole thing.
And this is when we learn that all 3 of those advantages are an amulet.
Yeah.
All 3 together are an extra vote.
Yes.
2 of them together, let's say somebody gets voted out and 2 are left in the game. It's a steal a vote.
But it's a steal a vote or an extra vote for each person with part of the amulet, right? Or is it one?
I don't know. That was confusing because I was like, why would I want to work together with other people for like one extra vote?
Yeah.
But it could, yeah, I can't imagine it's 3 extra votes.
Okay.
But maybe.
Yeah.
And then a steal a vote. But if you're the last one left with an amulet, it's an idol.
It's an idol. So they're all kind of talking about like, well, this is complicated because we formed this alliance. The 3 of us know about this thing, right? So we like have some kind of, it's not really an alliance, but they're like connected, working together. They all have this information, but it's sort of like, do I work with these people to get an extra vote or steal a vote? Or do I try to get them out so that I end up with an idol? That's
this sounded like you didn't want us to work together. This sounds like you want me to try to get them out.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't I want this to become an idol?
Yep.
An extra vote.
No thanks. I'll take an idol.
No, especially if I have to agree with these other 2 on who I want this extra vote to go against.
No.
Oh, that's way too complicated.
And there's something about it's like the last chance to play it is when there are 6 remaining.
Oh, did it say that?
I think it said that. So
oh boy.
I've got some like calculus to work out with that advantage.
Especially if you can't barely use it to merge, basically.
Absolutely.
I mean, how can you talk to somebody?
Yeah. I don't know how that works exactly, the mechanics of that. We go over to Taku.
Let's go to Taku.
And Jackson's going to tell a story at the fire. This is at night. And he's like, so you guys want a story, right? Twists and turns and unexpected surprises. Well, here's the deal. I applied for Survivor 10 years ago and I applied as a girl. And they're like, whoa. And he's like, I just want to be honest. I'm coming out, no secrets. Like I want you guys to know who I really am. And I respect that. Like just out with it early
here's
on.
Where now we talked about this in our cast video. We knew he applied 10 years ago as a girl and got the call randomly for this season. And a guest was like, I'm Jackson now.
Yeah, right.
But the story gets deeper because he explains that his family was not down with his transitioning. He leaves his family, goes and like gets married. They don't even know he went and got married.
Right.
But then his mom's health is failing.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll just take care of her full time. That's fine.
I'm coming back. I'm living with you full time, he says to his dad. And through taking care of his mom, now he's like reconnecting with his dad, actually getting to know one another. Tells his dad that he's married, and the dad's like, well, I would like to meet her. And so then that becomes a whole thing, you know?
It was a lot. And I was so glad that they gave us the whole story because that's, I mean,
we needed it.
Yeah. Wow. And so, I mean, he got to be there for his mom's last, however long that was.
Yeah.
And now he has a relationship with his dad, and so does his wife.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not cool that they were like not done with the transition, but like
it worked out.
It's great that it worked out in the end.
And he kind of had the self-aware. I love people who like can see big picture, self-awareness stuff. The self-awareness to say like, this was a crappy situation, but look, it brought us together. We got to have a relationship now. Had this not happened, Jackson would just be off doing his married thing and the parents would just be doing their thing, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh my God. And now at this point, Jackson's living a dream on Survivor.
I know. It's really a bummer what happens later. But over on Vati, it's sort of like duos that start to form. It's Lydia and Hai seem to be connecting.
Yeah.
Jenny and Mike, because they're like, I think a little bit on the older side. And then Chanel and Daniel.
Chanel's like, I'm left with Daniel. I don't know.
True. Yeah, right. True. Because then Daniel's kind of like, I'm in with everybody.
Yeah.
Me and my arm that's just flopping around. Everybody loves us, the 2 of us.
Hey, you want to work together?
Yeah. And then we get this great package. Again, the character development is so good because we get this package on Daniel and his childhood leukemia and like how he's a survivor and, you know, before he even got on Survivor. So it's just really wonderful to get to know these people.
Right. I'm going to answer Kathy's question real quick because she's leaving. She's going to bed. I understand it's late in some places. No, we didn't get any edited, like what happened when the 3 ladies come back from the boat story, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, that's a little bit later. Yeah. Oh, right. No, we didn't get
we got not out. Okay. So Ika. Zach and Romeo are going to have a skinny guy.
They're like, we are both skinny.
They're like, what are you, 118?
Yeah.
They're like, that's the biggest I've ever been. I filled out for the show to my 118.
Oh, they are both incredibly small and bonding over that. And that, like, it's literally having this conversation, and then one of them drops the like, so how you feeling? And they're like, that's the phrase. We're in an alliance now.
Keywords. I was just about to say it to you. Yeah, so they're gonna bond there. And then Tori. Sweet Tori.
Sweet Tori. Gone.
Rookie mistake.
Looking for food.
And she's like genuinely like, I'm actually looking for food, so I know I'm good.
Yeah. You're not.
No.
Because everyone's like, where's Tori? She's been gone for a while. She's probably looking for an idol.
No, Tori.
And she comes back to camp and she's like, the vibe is off.
This feels different.
I feel busted.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not busted, because I swear I was looking for food. But I didn't come back with any food. I don't have any
food in my hands. So this is...
I can't prove it.
This is all not good for Tori.
But Zach pulls her aside and he's like, just so you know, your name has been thrown out there. You're kind of in trouble. He's giving her a little bit of a heads up here because they've been bonding over Harry Potter.
You know what? And he specifically says Drea's name.
He does. Yeah, which will come back to bite him. Then the boat comes to take somebody away.
The boat shows up. I forgot about this. I forgot the boat takes 3 people to a summit, but here we are.
Yeah.
The first at Taku, Marianne's like, please.
Should I go?
But I mean, if I have to. Yeah. But like, please.
Send me, please. Yeah.
So she gets to go.
She gets to go. Then I think Jenny... Does she draw the short straw?
Yes. Jenny's going to draw, that drive's going to draw sticks.
Yeah. And then Drea, like, wins rock, paper, scissors.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the word you call it?
Rochambeau.
That's right.
Yes.
David's fancy. Shayna, thank you for the super chat.
4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Duo back.
Oh, it's us.
That's us.
Your favorite duo and Survivor are back.
Yay!
Which is your favorite trio. So those are the three ladies this time, right? Let's remember that last season it was 3 men who went on the boat situation. Now we got 3 ladies. They're climbing the mountain. They're getting to know one another. We're learning a little bit more about Marianne.
We get Marianne's segment at this point.
Right.
She is weird, and she wants all the weirdos to know that you can succeed. I'm here for it.
And she is weird, I can confirm.
Yeah.
So they climb the mountain, have to separate to risk or protect their vote. So they're sort of learning about this challenge that we already know about. But this time we see all 3 of them. Like I remember we didn't see, was it Xander's choice last season that we didn't see? Whatever it was, we didn't see one of them. And so we didn't know how it was going to...
Didn't Shan go on the summit?
Shan and, well...
So I don't think it was 3 men. I think Shan was there.
Shan went on the second one, I think.
Oh, was that a different thing?
The first one was like Deshaun. Was his name JT or JC? Remember the guy with the locks? The dreadlocks?
Look, this was like last year.
You tell us. I'm sure you know in the chat.
But anyway, I do remember, though, even though I don't know who it was, that they had a slight discussion. They were like, look, we might make a decision here. Like they had a little bit of strategy talk.
Yeah.
This group, we don't see any of that. They're like, okay, on our merry way we go.
Yeah, JD, that was him. Sorry.
JD, thank you.
JD, Deshaun, Xander, my last season.
And then they stood there and they were like, what would these other people do?
Yeah.
Well, they figured it out fairly accurately.
Yeah.
I guess without strategy. We see all 3 choices. We see Drea being like, risk it.
And she's like, I don't know these people. Risk.
For the biscuit.
Yeah.
And then Marianne's like, look, Christians sometimes regret not going for it. Let's do it. And I was like, whatever gets you there, Marianne. Sure. Risking it.
Yes.
And then Jenny's like, no.
Yes. I can't do it. I can't. So that means that Drea and Marianne are going to get this extra vote. Thank you, Scott. It is, or Sheena 456. It is JD, Danny, and Xander, not Deshaun.
Okay, because Shannon and Deshaun did the thing together because then they were like, we're going to work together. And then they were like, no, we're not going to work together.
That's right.
You know,
that's
that
right.
Whole thing.
Yes. So now we know Drea and Marianne are going to get their extra votes. We go back to Taku. And Lindsay is like, Jackson, hydrate. Can't have you being dizzy for 10 hours. You need to hydrate.
You know what? Before we get to the boat, I talked about in the cast assessment that Lindsay is like my sister. She's an Aquarius and a dietitian.
Okay.
And this is why I love Lindsay, because I love my sister. And this is accurate. My sister's like, why aren't you drinking water? Where's the water? Sarah, have you eaten? Like, that's my sister. And so I was like, oh my God, Lindsay, you are doing what I thought you might do. The CAC 16.
The CAC 16. Thank you for the super sticker.
Then the boat arrives, but with Jeff.
Yeah, with Jeff. I thought at first I was like, oh, are these the people returning from this like expedition coming back on the boat? But it's Jeff Probst. And
whenever Jeff shows up, we all know that's not good. And I'm like, well, we just heard that Jackson needs to hydrate.
I know. And then they keep, dramatically cutting to Jackson, like zoom in on his face, right? So I'm like, what's going on with Jackson? So then Jeff is like, Jackson, let's like pop over here and have a chat.
But I was like, what?
I have no idea what's going on.
Why would he's not like passed out or anything? Like, why are we worried?
It's like, how could they possibly do a medevac at this point?
Right?
That something's wrong.
Okay. Well, we have a conversation that I don't think we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. This is so bizarro. And Jeff's like all kind of like chill about it at first of like, look, we take health and safety so seriously, and you have all these health forms that you have to fill out.
Yeah.
And then like the last day, you kind of added an extra thing to your health form.
Yeah. So, and Jeff is like pretty vague about the situation. And Jackson is like, yes, I take lithium for sleep and anxiety because when I was taking care of my dying mother, I couldn't
Jeff,
sleep.
did you see the segment about my dying mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. So I was on lithium.
And Jeff is like, well, I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah. Jeff was like, you're cool to talk about it. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, I know there's a stigma about it. But like, I took it. And he was like, I was weaning myself off of it. And my wife was kind of like, you're not going to be on it by the time you're on Survivor. All good. And so I guess that's why he didn't bring it up till the last minute. We didn't fully understand if he brought it up at the end because he was like, I just stopped taking lithium, or if he still needed to take lithium. It was very not clear. And to answer Diana's question, Diana is a doctor, I don't know that you can take meds on Survivor.
I wonder if they would because at first with the lithium, I thought it might have something to do with the transition. And I think Jeff asks that question too. And I do wonder if they would let Jackson continue testosterone or something that he's taking as part of his transition. Like that feels like something that they would allow.
Yeah, I think, and maybe if it's something that you don't have to take with food, which most meds don't you have to take with food, but like if it's something that just like hormone, or I don't know a lot about meds, but like if it's something that you can just easily take, it's probably okay for Survivor. Yeah. But if it's something that like you need to make sure that you have enough sleep and enough food in your system, it's a different story. And so here we're just finding out, like Jeff's like, lithium is a different story.
We can't risk this. Like if you go off of lithium and then you're dehydrated and tired and starving and all of these conditions that are like gonna happen if you last longer on Survivor, it's too big of a risk. And I kind of wonder, like, if this thing had come out earlier, if there would have been more of a more robust conversation about this, and maybe they could have like said it'll work or what, we'll never know. But ultimately they're like, it just came out and it's too big of a risk. We can't keep you here.
Look, okay. How do you guys feel about this? Because I mean, first off, this is crushing, right? I'm already, my heart is loving Jackson, and then to lose Jackson, and Jackson to be so effing cool about it, to be like, thank you for the opportunity, but I understand what you're saying. And then Marianne starts sobbing, which I was like,
I've never heard someone do like a full body sob faster in my life. I don't even think they got the sentence out of like Jackson is going to be removed, and she's like,
like Jeff's face was like, what is she doing? Oh, is that Marianne?
And she like runs into Jackson's arms and is sobbing into his body. Jackson has like a tear in his eye, and Marianne is like overwhelmed.
I feel very strongly about things happening for a reason, and if you look at it from the big picture, it was already so bonkers that they called Jackson out of the blue after applying 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And as a different person.
Yeah.
And for Jackson to get on, even though it was so short, they pulled Jackson. I feel like it was for a reason, for us to hear that story.
Yeah.
And so I in no way wish that this had come out earlier and an alternate could have gotten on. I am grateful that we had Jackson for the short amount of time, if it was going to be a short amount of time. Yeah. But I did see people saying, like, couldn't there have been an alternate? You know, I feel bad for an alternate that could have been on the season. And I just like, no, I'm all for Jackson.
Yeah, because there were some important conversations, I think, that were had because Jackson was there, both about transitioning and about like destigmatizing, you know, people having to take lithium because they had to care for their dying mother and needed help sleeping. Like, you know, just normalizing some of these things.
Right.
I think is important.
Did we destigmatize lithium and transitioning? And like, I don't know. I feel like he touched on so many points that we all, you know, could grow from all of this.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's heavy stuff.
So we go to immunity then. Jackson's gone. Now let's check out the immunity challenge. And they have to reveal to these other two tribes that Jackson has been pulled from the game. No explanation. They're just like, what? What happened?
Yeah, it's your first look at this tribe, and they're like, wait, what?
They're like, wait.
Was there a tribal?
It was Daniel whose shoulder was dislocated. Why is Jackson gone?
Yeah, it's all very confusing. And Marianne's like, yeah, I know. I'll tell you guys later.
Yeah, truly.
All right, well, this means that they're going to have to sit out a couple people. So Lydia and Romeo are going to sit out, and then we're going to watch one of the most insane challenges with this was pulling the boat.
Felt unusually difficult.
This was Australia,
especially for like a first challenge. Before we do get to the challenge, Jeff reminds us all about the shot in the dark, which wasn't a huge twist last season, but we're already getting more out of it this season.
Yeah, but right. They don't know about it, so we get the shot in the dark and the you're gonna lose your flint.
Yeah, so he explains all that. We get into this challenge. They have to all swim out. They start on these platforms out in the ocean. They have to swim out to the boat. Jackson basically walks on water into the boat, right? Or not Jackson. Jonathan walks on water, gets in the boat.
Right?
Yeah. Then Daniel, they're rowing the boat and he's holding his arm. And I was like, don't do this.
No, I was like, yes, Survivor. Hold it in place.
I was like, producers, if you keep zooming into this one, I'm going to have an issue.
Yes.
But then they have to untie the chest. Wait.
No. So they're in the boat. They have to Wait, is this the chest?
Did we already talk about this challenge?
Oh my God.
Did we totally misdescribe the first challenge?
Yes, because I was like, wait, were the chests in the first challenge or this one? I believe the chests were in this one.
They were.
I don't know what they did in the first one.
So we've already gone through the chests.
But you get it. The chests were crazy. They were like lugging them onto the boat, then lugging them off of the boat, then like dragging the boat up. Then you have to load the chunks back onto the boat to get it up the hill. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
And like John and Lindsay are able to get their tribe out in a lead. But by the time we're pushing this boat up the hill, like at one point, Roxroy and his group on Ika, they just take a break.
Oh, they just sit.
They just sit. And I can't blame them because it looked insane.
Yeah. No, they can't because they were having such a hard time even pushing it up the beach. And then I don't know what was under their boat, in between their boat and the platform, the like rails that they're pushing the boat on. But it was
just like
pushing it through tar or something. Like something was preventing their boat from moving.
Yeah.
In a way that wasn't happening with the other tribes. I will say, like,
we're like, is something over there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. But then, and they're like, they're trying to add the chest to the boat while they're pushing it. It's just so awful. But Vati does, like, Taku's in the lead, but then as they're pushing, something happens to Taku's boat, and then Vati takes the lead. I mean, getting into the puzzle.
Jonathan has to get tired for a second,
you know? Yeah,
but
he takes one breath.
So Vati is going to take this lead. That gets Jenny and Daniel on the puzzle first, so they get a bit of a head start there. But then we are going to see Marianne and Omar on their puzzle, and then Ika is going to eventually get up on the puzzle, and it's going to be Zach and Swathi over there.
Yes, but it takes them a while to get going, obviously, because Ika was having such a hard time. But you're sort of wondering, like, Swathi and Zach, nerds, smart people, like, can they catch up? But there's smart people on all these teams, right? And capable puzzle solvers. And these other two teams just had too much of a lead. Even though Vati does get to the puzzle first, it ends up being Taku who overtakes them. That is Marianne and Omar for Taku.
Yeah,
so
way to go, guys.
Accomplishment there. Vati is in second, and Ika is headed to tribal council. So that's sort of who we focus on for the rest of this episode.
Yes, absolutely. So Ika's going to have to give back their flint, and now we're going to follow them back to camp because they're going to have to go to tribal, and they've got to vote somebody else. First up, Zach's going to apologize to the group. He was on the puzzle.
Yeah.
My bad. That's always smart to do.
Didn't hear Swathi saying my bad.
Because she was like, it wasn't my fault.
It was Zach's fault.
Yeah.
On the puzzle.
She doesn't say that. But that's what she was like, I don't need to apologize for anything.
Right.
Then Tori's like, look, guys, before we divide off here.
I just want to clear the air.
I know y'all are talking about me having an idol, but I do not have an idol.
Yeah.
So no need for that to weigh into your decisions here.
No. And I heard, Drea, that you're the one who threw my name out. So can we talk? And Drea's like, I'm pretty sure we were all talking about it in a group.
I was a group. And Tori's like, let's start. So they like scurry off, and Romeo's like, who?
Yeah.
Who was that?
So who was the one who told Tori?
This is Zach.
What?
Who was that?
Who? Sorry. Did you say something?
Okay. So I don't believe it's outed that it's Zach at this point.
Yeah.
But Drea and Tori's conversation seems to go just fine.
Drea's kind of like, forget it.
She's like, cool, we're fine. Did you see Roxroy and not pushing that boat?
Drea's like, I was pulling that boat single-handedly.
Just me.
And he was sitting.
What's
that about?
She's like, I'm over him. He's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
Tori's like, sound music to my ear.
No, Tori's like, truly anybody but me. Great.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we see Roxroy and Swathi, and
oh my God, Roxroy. Like how?
He can't interact with young people. He just has no patience for this. He's like, what is going on with your shoes? Wash your shoes. And she's like,
and then he's like, just who do you want?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't follow this guy.
Just tell me who you're voting for.
He's not mad at Swathi. He like wants to like work with her. Okay.
Yeah.
I was so confused. Like, hi, Jess. Yeah. Apparently people remember Tori from Sequester. I do not. I didn't watch it. But do we love her? Because I kind of love her.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's like, I guess
Zach, like he did mess up the puzzle, and he's like, great, Zach. Okay, done.
We're not talking about it anymore because this is how I play Survivor,
which always works. Oh, every time.
Every time
we see this,
you're on just the right path.
Yes,
Rock's right. And she's like, okay, great. So then Romeo and Drea's going to try to catch Romeo up.
Yeah,
Rock's right.
He's like, we just formed an alliance with Roxroy.
Like, yeah, aren't we working together?
We got to get one of those annoying young people out, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the goal. So then Roxroy is like, well, let's get Tori out.
Well, Tori.
Or no.
Yeah. No.
Roxroy's like saying, Zach.
You're talking, it's Romeo. Did we get confused with words or names? Romeo and Drea. Drea's catching Romeo up, and Romeo saying no to Roxroy.
Right, because they just formed an alliance.
Yes.
But then he's also saying no to Zach, right? Because he's like, if it's between Zach and Tori, I would rather lose Tori.
Well, that's later.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So at this point, he suggests Tori. And so Drea's like, sure. Whatever, I guess. I don't know. Okay. And then it's when Romeo's talking to Roxroy and Swathi.
Got it.
That he's like,
yes.
Oh, God, you guys are saying Zach, but I'm saying Tori. So if it were, I'm going to stick with that it should be Tori. And Roxroy's like, that's not how I work.
Yeah.
We said one name and it will never change from that one name.
So fall in line, Romeo.
And he's like, but my skinny boy alliance.
Yeah. But going into tribal, it feels like it's going to be one of those.
It's obviously Tori or Zach,
Yeah. And at the top of tribal, we get this reminder about the shot in the dark, which ends up paying off.
Yes. Just like, how about that? Anyone talking about that? And they're like, well, we've heard about it. But I don't know. This tribal was pretty short. I felt like we just kind of get Tori
begging people to target her.
She's like very defensive, but like trying to plead her case. I mean, it's too much, but like I understand because you think you're potentially about to be voted out. So I get it. But she's like, look, I'm trustworthy and loyal. And Zach's like, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But Drea's face kind of said it all. Like they kept cutting to Drea and she was like, every time Zach talked, she was like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, not feeling you, Zach. So then we get to the vote. And we see Zach does not vote. He plays the shot in the dark.
He puts his little cube thing in the little the thingy.
Drea gets her extra vote, and she's like, ooh, and she like rolls it up, saves that extra vote. She doesn't need to use it now. And then Zach says, I did the shot in the dark. Let's unroll it. Drama, not safe.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
Is anyone ever going to use it and be safe?
I don't think so.
The odds are
not in your favor.
They're not in your favor. I mean, I know it's possible. It's not the worst odds, but I mean, I would definitely use it, especially on the first one. I don't want to be the first one out, but
yeah, right.
It's going to be not safe.
He was right to use it though, because he ends up being the first person who was unanimously voted out of Survivor because he gets no vote because he got a shot in the dark. So it was 5 votes Zach, no votes for anybody else. So he knew that he was going to go.
Yeah. And there's no drama here. The producers can't do anything with the vote because it's like Zach, first person voted out. And I was like, oh, wow, that was real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Zach's gone.
And Zach was like our cute little super fan nerd. He said
guy nerd.
He said at the top of Tribal, he was like, fire, like he said Jeff's line, fire my breath in the middle. I don't even know the line, and I've seen all the episodes too.
Yeah.
But he gave us some good nerdy super fan moments. So I'm sad about that, but honestly, we have so many good ones. Or we have so many other ones. Like we have plenty of nerdy super fans.
Oh, of course. This is such a good cast, honestly. I'm really happy with it so far.
Yeah. Funny enough, I don't know if Amy's still here, but
I saw a rip and I was like, is this something about an arm? But
yes, the arm ripped out.
The arm out of the socket. Yeah.
We're gonna do it every episode. We're gonna rip an arm out. No, we do for those who are in our Discord Patreon patrons, we do a draft, and Amy drafted Jackson and Zach.
Yikes.
So her entire team is out.
So sorry about that, Amy.
The first episode, which is
she only has 2?
Yeah, we all got 2.
She's just out. Wow.
So she's just out, which you have to kind of laugh at this point.
Do you get a point for a medevac or something?
Oh, there's Amy. Amy's here.
Amy, I'm so sorry.
I know you should get extra points for the medevac.
Yeah.
The lithium vac.
40 bonus points for Amy.
Yes. For the medevac. For Jackson just being amazing, you get extra points for that. And but honestly,
sucks.
Amy, you are now like extra cool because I mean, who else can go?
Well, now, Amy, listen, think of it this way.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You can just enjoy the season for what it is.
The pressure's gone.
And you don't have to root for somebody just because they're on your draft team. Like, you can just pick your natural favorites now and not have to worry about all
you
that,
get you get like a fresh slate, all new faves.
Yeah.
Starting over.
Oops, sorry.
And special consideration for future drafts.
Yes.
You might get to pick first next time. Remind me of that. Random draw. Amy gets to pick first for like a year. Oh, that's so sad. All right, Zach is gone, and the preview is just like, hey, people coming for people.
People are coming for people. Yeah, exactly.
Did you notice that Drea got the first advantage with the trio?
I did, and the extra vote.
And the summit. Extra vote. Like Drea did not have a bad first episode.
She makes that comment when she's like at the risk protect moment. She's like, I came here to play.
Yeah.
I am taking risks. This is Survivor. So that's the kind of fire that I like to see in somebody. So I'm liking what I see from her so far. And thank you. Yes, we are rooting for Romeo, Amy, you and I. Thank you so much.
I gave Seth Romeo because he didn't have time to research and he asked me to pick for him. And I was like, well, then I'll give him David's one.
Oh, and Seth. Look at that little trio. We're rooting for Romeo. Love it.
Romeo's not doing too shabby.
Yeah.
He seems like he's here to play. He gets it. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's it, y'all.
That's it, you guys. Survivor 42 premiere in the books.
Yes, I am still watching Australian Survivor over on my Twitch channel. Nice. We're doing it once a week on Tuesdays because it's now just 2 episodes a week.
Oh, that's manageable.
So we just catch up on the 2 on Tuesdays. If you guys want to join us on Twitch, I do it with Chantel. She watches with me.
Very cool.
It's an okay season.
Oh, wow. I've never heard you say that.
Started really great.
Everybody loves Survivor Australia.
Yeah. And then there were a couple weeks that weren't so great.
Yeah, I heard.
And then maybe it's picking up.
Oh.
So, hey, join us. That wasn't a sales pitch, but now hey, maybe it's going to get better. Maybe it'll get better. Yeah. Okay, so we have Survivor America 42 here for you guys. And then on Thursdays, we've got Big Brother Canada eviction recaps.
Heyo.
David and I. And then on Mondays, Chantel joins me for the Monday recap of Big Brother Canada. That's the schedule as of now.
Love it.
Loving it.
All right.
Well,
thank you guys for sticking with us for this premiere.
Yes. So excited. We're into the season. It's happening. You guys in the chat are amazing. As always, we super appreciate it.
We do. And you guys who are joining us later, leave us a comment and let us know what you think about Jackson's medevac, Zach's elimination, and that freaking arm, you had to bring it up. Oh my God. And let us know who your favorites are so far. Please.
Who you are rooting for.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.